Hi, we're gonna go over the trig identities test. All right, so here we go. So let's try to go through these. Cosine tangent x plus cotangent x equals cosecant x, and so remember to you have cosine x, then move this to sine x over cosine x plus cosine x over sine x, right? So distribute the cosine, it will be cosine x sine x over cosine x plus cosine squared x over sine x. Okay, and by this, now we could cancel these two out. And so it becomes sine x plus cosine squared x over sine x, right? And then we get a common denominator for sine x over sine x. Okay, and so this becomes sine squared x plus cosine squared x all over sine x. Notice that this is a Pythagorean identity, right? Sine squared x plus cosine squared x, so that's just 1 over sine x, which is then equal to cosecant x. Okay. Number 2, or letter B, we have 1 minus 2 cosine x over 1 over sine 2x. So remember, this is 1 minus, and we're going to replace the cosine 2x with 1 minus 2 sine squared x all over, and then the sine 2x, we're going to replace that with 2 sine x cosine x. So if you distribute this here, it would be 1 minus 1 plus 2 sine squared x all over 2 sine x cosine x. This is 0. So that's 2 sine squared x over 2 sine x cosine x. Cancel this out. So that equals 2, and then cancel the 2's out as well. So it's sine x, because we took out one of the sines, and then sine x over cosine x, which is equal to tangent x. Number 2a, it's sine t plus cosine t over secant t plus cosecant t. So it will be sine t plus cosine t all over 1 over cosine t plus 1 over sine t. This is equal to sine t plus cosine t all over, this is what? You get the common denominator, so this needs a sine t, this needs a cosine t. So it will be sine t plus cosine t all over sine t cosine t. So when you do this, remember this is division right here. So this will be equal to sine t cosine t times, sine t plus cosine t times sine t cosine t over sine t plus cosine t. If you put these in parentheses, you know that you can cancel these out. So this is equal to sine t times cosine t. Now we work on this side right here a little bit, where you get the sine t over, and then make that 1 over cosine t. If you multiply by the reciprocal, that will equal this right here. Okay. And letter B is cosecant plus cotangent. So this is equal to 1 over sine theta plus cosine theta over sine theta. Put this together, it'll be 1 plus cosine theta over sine theta. And we have to work this a little bit. So this is, I'm gonna work, meet halfway here. So this is what? Sine theta, and this is 1 minus cosine theta. So it'll be 1 plus cosine theta, 1 plus cosine theta. So remember, you're doing the conjugate, you're multiplying by its conjugate. So this is going to be what? Sine theta plus sine theta cosine theta all over, if you multiply this out, it'll be 1 minus cosine squared theta. Remember, the numbers in between cancel out. That's why it's good to multiply by its conjugate. Then this turns into sine squared theta, so it'll be, and then we're going to factor out the sine here. So it'll be sine theta 1 plus cosine theta all over sine squared theta. We cancel these out. This is equal to 1 plus cosine theta over sine theta. Okay. This one right here, remember that sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine A cosine A. So if you have sine A, remember that A is in between pi and 2 pi, or pi over 2 and 2 and pi over 2 and pi. So it's in quadrant 2. And remember that A is, this is A right here. Sine is opposite, which is 3 over hypotenuse, which is 5, which means that this portion right here is -4 if you did the Pythagorean theorem, right? The Pythagorean theorem is 3 squared plus x squared is equal to 5 squared. So this is 9 plus x squared is equal to 25. X squared is equal to 16, and so x is equal to 4. The reason why it's 4, -4, is because remember we're in the third quadrant, and so cosine is a negative, okay? So now we get the cosine of A, and that's equal to -4 over 5. So if we plug this in, sine A is 2 times, and then sine A is 3 over 5. And then cosine A is -4 over 5. Multiply this out 6 times the -24 over 25. Last but not least, if you look at the sum angles, sum and difference angles right here, you'll notice that this is cosine, cosine, sine, sine, and there's a plus sign in between. So if it's cosine, cosine, sine, sine, we're using the cosine A minus B formula, right? And so A is equal to 5 pi over 12, and B is equal to pi over 12. So if you subtract them, cosine 5 pi over 12 minus pi over 12, this equals cosine 4 pi over 12, which is equal to the cosine of pi over 3. And the cosine of pi over 3, if you look on the unit circle, is 1 over 2, and that is your final answer. Hope this helped. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good day.